moving on, let me undo this here. So Excel recognizes this as a serial number. Now, the next function that I would introduce you to would be month. Now, month function will return the month number. So we have month. I select the month or the date. I select the date, hit enter, we get the month number. Similarly, we have the year and I use the year function, select the date, close the brackets, and we have the year as well. Now, one might wonder what's the purpose of having day, month, and year separately. Well, it totally depends on your analytical requirements. Sometimes you do not want to see the entire date, or maybe you do not want to show the entire date to whoever you would be forwarding the report due to some confidentiality. But at least you would want them to know which year, or maybe up to a month level, they should know what was the sales for the month of March and so on. So maybe you might want to segregate this way. That's perfect. That's absolutely normal. And that is when this helps you out. You can have a separate column called month, and you can also have another column called year. And that's absolutely perfect. Now, well, I do see number 3 over here, but how do I get it as March over here? Well, that is something we'll discuss later. We do have an interesting function called as text. We'll discuss about that in some time. For now, moving on, there is another function which I would like to introduce. That would be weekday. Okay, now that's an interesting function here. I select weekday, select the date, and it's asking for return type. Now, since return type is mentioned in square brackets, that's completely optional. I might just close the brackets and hit enter, and it says 4. Now, this date falls on the 4th day of the week. Now, by default, Excel assumes or considers the first day of the week as Sunday. So Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Let me put the dates over here. So we have the dates over here. And now if we start from Sunday, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that's Wednesday. Would you want to cross check that? Check on the date. It's 2021 falls on Wednesday. So that's perfect. Now let me show you something more. What if I have my week starting from Monday and not Sunday? I would go with the formal calendar of maybe my business calendar, and I start my week from Monday. So I select Monday over here in this list. That's number 2 representing this format. Hit enter. And you see, if the count starts from Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday falls 3rd. Further, we also have some more options here. That's what if the week starts from Monday, but 0 represents Monday and 6 represents Sunday. So there is no number 7 or the 7th day of the week. The count starts from 0. So Tuesday becomes 1. That's as good as this. Over here, that's the number 12 format, wherein Tuesday is 1, but Monday is 7. And we do not want that. We rather would want to see Monday as a 0. If that's what your requirement is, just select this and close the bracket. It should be showing us 2 because it's Wednesday. Well, you can work around with many other formats as well, and that's perfect. For now, I'll just leave this to Sunday. And yes, moving on, we also have another function called as WEEKNUM. Let me just introduce this function again. So we use week number, and it returns the week number. Now, so the week number starts from Jan 1st, 2021, or whichever the year is, and ends on December 31st. So here in this case, we are in 2021, and serial number it's asking for, that's technically the date. So I select this, comma. Now return type. Let's keep this aside for a moment, and I'll just close the bracket. That's an optional one. What do we get? The week number. It's 14. Now, how does this calculate or come up to 14th week? Let me show you. We have the calendar over here and January. The year starts from Friday. So we have first starting from Friday. So 7, it's Week 1 ends on Thursday, so we have 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. 5th week ends on 4th of Feb. 6th, 7th, 8th. 9th week also ends on March 4th. 10th week on March 11th. 11th week on March 18th. 12th week on March 25th. And 13th week on March, or rather April 1st. So this should be 13th week. But look at this. Our calendar does not start from Friday. It generally starts from Sunday. Hence, since I did not specify any week number, it start assuming this to be first week, second, third, fourth, fifth, sixth, 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th, 11th, 12th, 14th. So 31st, March 31st falls under 14th week. That's how it calculates, okay? But now, let's say my week starts from Thursday, or let's say Wednesday. First, I'll try Wednesday. I click comma. I select Wednesday and hit enter. Well, it's still the 14th week. You can do the calculation. Now, if not Wednesday, let's put it as Thursday and hit enter. Now, this is where we see a day less, or a week less over here. Now, remember when we calculated starting from Friday, the number of weeks came up to 13 and not 14. So I select that Friday as a start day of the week and see it's 13 weeks. And this is how we calculate the week number for the year. And this is how we calculate the week number for the year. Now further, let me just expand this slightly. Next we have days. We have days function. Now here, this is where we would make use of the start date and end date. This function helps you identify or retrieve. This function helps you get the difference between two dates. So we first select end date and then the start date. So end date, comma, start date, close the brackets, and you get 89 days. That's Jan 1st to 31 March or March 31st, 2021, and it's 89 days. Well, I wouldn't need a function to know that. I could have just hit equal sign, select the end date, minus the start date, and we have this. That's 89. Pretty straightforward. Excel has given you a function for your convenience. Now there's another function called as days 360. Now what exactly is this days 360? This function assumes there are 360 days in a year. That means every month has 30 days evenly spread. That's the core assumption. So we have days 360. We select this. Start date. Now first it's asking for start date, unlike the days function where it was asking for the end date. Here it asks for the start date first. Select the start date, select the end date. Now this is optional, the method. And why do we see this false US NASDAQ method and European method? Well, this is generally to do with your bond market calculations. Both of them have different approaches there, and hence you get those options, but that's completely optional. For now, we'll just focus on this function. So it's January, February, March. It's 3 months, each month having 30 days. So that's total of 90 days. Now it doesn't matter whether January has 31 days, February has only 28 days, or whether on certain years they have 29 days. It does not matter. Excel assumes or considers each month has 30 days just like any other month in the year. And that's the days 360. Now, I would also like to introduce you to another function called as date. It's a date function. It helps you convert dispersed components of a date, combine them together and convert it into a date format. Let me just give you an example here. So date, it asks for first specify the year and then month and then day. So we have the year over here, comma, the month, comma, day. You just need to select this, close the bracket and hit enter. Now what's the point of this? Why do we need this? Well, in case if you have these dates spread across different areas, or maybe you are just extracting a part of the date and you are clubbing it with something else. For example, I need, let's say, I need date and I want the date to appear as April 1st, 2021. So or rather I would say April 1st of the current year. So I have already the date over here, so I might just first select the year. So I'll make use of the year function and select the date. So this year function will pick up only the year. Then I need the month. Now month is April, so I can just hit enter number 4 and 1st of April, so that's 1 and close the bracket. And here we have the date. Maybe you need some dynamic dates from this starting point, then date function can help you out there as well. We'll dig into this further as we proceed with some other functions that can help you with better organizing your dates and further calculations as well pertaining to dates. Now let us proceed further. Alright, so I scroll down and here it appears like a fresh one. Now this is an exercise over here for you as well, but first I'll explain you and then we'll try. Okay, so first there are some functions that we'll be working on now specific to date. Let me give you the name of functions. One is eDate, EO month, and then there is yearFrac. Now these are the three functions which I want to emphasize on. Let us get some assumptions here.